History of tourism, world, especially, Europe and America.
Tourism, evolution and development. What is evolution?
The gradual development of something. Origin of tourism and hospitality.
The invention of will and currency really made traveling easy, and hence, helped more people to visit faraway places. Hospitality emerged and kept pace with this unstoppable growth. Europe is the birthplace of hotel and in business, but it was in America, where enterprising risk-takers experimented with new ideas, and succeeded spectacularly. Important phases in growth of hotel industry, in Europe and America.
Summarizing the world tourism history. In a few pages it is impossible. History is always learnt from documents, and every document has limitations. Therefore, instead of giving you a long, tedious presentation, would like to just highlight the important civilizations, and their contributed milestones.
Prominent civilizations that promoted tourism, travel and hospitality. The Babylonians, Sumerians, the Egyptians, Mesopotamians, the Romans, Phoenicians, Greeks, Chinese, Polynesians, Europeans, Chinese, Persians, and Arabs.
Important contributions are the Babylonians, Sumerians. The creation of money and trade. Babylon is the most famous city from ancient Mesopotamia, whose ruins lie in modern-day Iraq, 59 miles or 94 kilometers southwest of Baghdad. The Egyptians, first cruises were organized and conducted from Egypt. Pyramids. Celebrating festivals.
Important contributions continued. Mesopotamians. Use of early roads. Roads were mainly paved, dirt roads. The Romans, modern-day capital of Italy, developed stone-paved roads for military use, and it covered most of their empire.
Important contributions continued. Phoenicians, Syria, Lebanon, and northern Israel, master shipwrights. Built a network of trading posts around the Mediterranean.
Water transport. Greeks, Greece. Followed the Phoenicians. Improved ships and accelerated the Mediterranean trade. Merchant ships also carried passengers for profit.
A dugout canoe was unearthed, from Florida waters, after Hurricane Irma. Dugouts are the oldest boats archaeologists have found, dating back about 8,000 years. Important contributions continued.
Chinese. Had ministers for travel as early as 4,000 years ago. Polynesians, Hawaii, New Zealand, and Easter Island, used small dugout canoes under 40 feet, and used these to travel from Southeast Asia. Europeans, the fall of Rome spelled disaster for travel and tourism. Dark Ages only the most adventurous persons would travel. Travel was not for pleasure. The Crusades. End of the Dark Ages, pilgrimages were popular. The ancient passport was born in 1388. Permits for pilgrimages were required.
Introduction. Early travel. Earlier travel was essentially to seek food, or to escape danger. Travel was also undertaken for trade. Growth of cities along fertile river banks, like Nile etc., encouraged water travel. Ancient empires, like the Romans, helped shape modern travel.
Early travelers. Periodization of tourism. 1. Ancient period. 2. Imperial period and pilgrimage period. 3. Grand Tour period. 4. The transition period, after devastating Second World War. 5. The modern period. Ancient period.
Commercial hospitality activities existed before 4th century BC. Buddhists and Christian missionaries traveled afar, to propagate and promote their religion. Discovery of Silk Route, that connected east to west in 2000 BC, is evidence of travel. The ancient era hospitality.
Corinth in Greece was home to a number of lodging establishments. The inns of the biblical era were primitive, with little or no regard to privacy or personal sanitation. Depiction of travel in ancient period. Roads being built during Roman Empire.
Advent of all-weather roads. In 3rd century AD, a wide network of brick-paved roads were constructed in Europe and Minor Asia, that was, Turkey and Eastern Europe. This was an opportunity to build many lodging establishments along the road. These lodging places were called mansiones. Some of the ancient roads still exist.
The Empire era. The Egyptians. At its peak, the travel for business and pleasure flourished. Travel to outlying cities was necessary. Various amenities were offered to travelers. They traveled for pleasure and festivals were held every year. People used to travel to attend these festivals and bring back souvenirs. A cave painting in Egypt.
The Persians. Persia is the former name of Iran. They started travel, initially, for military use. Later on, facilities used for military were transformed, to facilitate civilian travel. Roads were built, markers were established to indicate distances. Safety of travelers was given importance. Modes of transport, like wagons, donkeys, mules were introduced. The Old Persian Empire, shown in yellow color.
The Greeks. The Greeks were the first, who shaped the modern-day travel. Pleasure travel was popular. Travel was advanced by two developments: currency exchange, as Greek cities accepted foreign currency, making it easier for travelers. Communication, the Greek Empire covered the entire Mediterranean, thus, the language was widely understood. They provided all the amenities required by traders and travelers.
A painting of an old Greek port city. The reason why traders are given so much importance is not hard to understand. They always pay large amount of money in taxes, and sometimes can even lend money to the king in times of emergencies. The Romans. The prosperity of the Roman Empire was reflected in the development of travel. The Romans included a large group of middle class, who had money and time to travel. They built excellent roads, transportation and communication systems. They built rest houses.
Industrial Revolution and Transition Period. The Industrial Revolution saw the power of inventions, like steamships, steam engines, railway network, power looms and rapid mechanization, leading to mass industrial production. This was the period when population started moving from rural to urban areas. The focus of travel now shifted to business, from education or pilgrimage.
A painting, showing a group of villagers, moving to a newly built city. Village to city migration.
Leaders of hospitality in Europe. First, Switzerland, then, Britain. The hospitality establishments in Switzerland were called chalets, a small cottage, where the main customers were the rich and powerful aristocrats. Between 1750 and 1825, British inns enjoyed the reputation of being the finest in Europe. We can see a modern-day chalet in Switzerland.
One more chalet image. What is aristocracy?
A class of persons, holding exceptional rank and privileges, especially the hereditary, by birth, nobility. A government, or state, ruled by an aristocracy, elite, or privileged upper class. Government by those considered to be the best or most able people in the state.
Aristocracy was the rule of elite. A governing body composed of the ones, considered to be the best, or most able people in the state. Any class or group considered to be superior, as through education, ability, wealth, or social prestige.
Renaissance and Grand Tour era, AD 1763 to 1773. The rise of Italy as intellectual capital of Europe. Grand Tour, a tour to the principal cities and places of interest in Europe, like France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Switzerland and Ireland. Formerly, said to be an essential part of the education of the young man of good birth and fortune. Main travelers were diplomats, business people, and scholars, moving mostly for career, education, culture, literary, health, and scientific research, business and economic reasons.
Opportunity for hospitality business. Grand Tour was also patronized by aristocracy, and therefore, smart businessmen sensed good money in catering to this group of rich and powerful travelers.
Prominent hotels of Grand Tour era. Dolder Grand Zurich, Swiss, Imperial, Vienna, Austrian, Vier Jahreszeiten Hamburg, German, De Bergs Geneva, Swiss.
Hotel Dolder Grand, Switzerland. Modern period. It was basically the period after Second World War, characterized by technological development of transport, such as funiculars, ropeway, jet airlines, bullet trains, ships, luxury cars, and facilities like five-star hotel accommodations. Modern period after Second World War.
American story in hospitality. American entrepreneurs literally changed the face of the hotel trade, with their breathtaking technological and architectural innovations, canny business promotions, and aggressive marketing skills, in a country that had just established itself as the first superpower of the world after Second World War.
Chronicle of American Hospitality. City Hotel, New York, 1794. 73 rooms. Exchange Coffee House, Boston, City Hotel, 2nd, Baltimore, Mansion House Philadelphia, Tremont House, Boston. 170 rooms, door lock, indoor plumbing, running water, bathing facility, bowl, pitcher, free soap in room.
Chronicle of American Hospitality continued. Grand Pacific, the Palmer House, the Sherman House, Chicago, the Palace, San Francisco, 800 rooms.
The First Business Hotel. Statler Hotel, Buffalo, New York, 1908, with 450 rooms. Attached bath, hot and cold water, electric lamp on desk, and radio in room.
The Great Depression, 1929 to 1935. The terrible economic slowdown wiped out much of the hospitality business in America. It was only a slow recovery after the Second World War had ended in 1945.
Father of tourism and travel. Thomas Cook is considered to be the father of modern tourism. His first organized trip was Leicester to Loughborough, in 1841. It covered a distance of 22 kilometers for 570 members. He acted as an agent by buying tickets in bulk, and selling it to others, on a non-profit basis. This gave him an idea to package tours in a profitable manner.
He organized the travel arrangements, accommodations, transport at the destinations, and return to the homeland. He organized the first inclusive tour to Paris Exhibition in 1855. Hotel voucher was introduced by Thomas Cook in 1867, and circular note in 1873, which made travel easier. First round the world tour in 1872. A summary of tourism in this table is for reference. End of part 2 of the lesson on tourism. See you in the next session.
Thank you for watching. Compilation and presentation by Praveen Jha, IHM Hajipur, Vaishali, Bihar.